using the brand kit allows you to automate the look of your newsletter, making sure it's always in line with your brand, and it also saves you a lot of time. So if you have a team or business plan, then you can access the brand kit here at the top of the editor. And there are many elements of your newsletter that you can set up the style for, and then this will all apply by default on your newsletter. So for example, here on the right side, you could set up the style of how your links appear. So every time you add a URL to your newsletter, you see that you always have a content title, a content description, eventually some social share options, and a call to action button. And you can set this up so it always looks this way. So every time I add a link on my newsletter, this is how my content title will appear. I decided not to have social share options, but I could change this by just editing this field here. And for example, I decided that my call to action button would always be read more. And again, I could totally edit it and make it, for example, a button instead. And of course, you've got all the typical styling options. So I prefer to have it blue. And that's it. I'm just going to save this. Okay. Now, on the right, you can also set up the text block styles. So if I select here, you can see I have all the typical text editor options. I can change the font, the size, the color, etc. And underneath, you can also save the style of your titles. So if you reuse various titles, you can save them all here. And you can select, for example, if I click on one, this is the one that will appear by default on my next newsletter. And I can change this as much as needed. If you want to remove a style you no longer use, you could also just click the trash icon and it's gone. Same thing for your call to action buttons. So the ones that are not included in web content that you've added to the newsletter. But say, for example, you add a call to action under an image. This is the call to action that would appear. You can also set up your social share options if you always want Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn available, for example, but you could totally change this and have other options. And you can also choose your divider and social follow. On the left, you see you can also set up your background color for your newsletter and also the color of the center column. Similarly, you can choose your brand colors here at the top. It's very easy. Just click the plus, select here a color and click OK. Or you can enter the color code directly if you know it. And every time you edit text, for example, and you go to color here, you will see your brand kit colors showing. So it's very easy to switch to the color that you prefer. Now, this part, the brand font, is the only one that is only available on a business plan. So if you have a team plan, you won't be able to upload your particular fonts unless you upgrade, of course, to a business plan. And finally, you also have the option to remove the Publicate logo. So by default, this is on. But if you prefer to have it off, just click here and then click Save. And all these changes apply to your next newsletter. They don't apply to previous newsletter. If you have any questions, just open the chat here and let me know. Thank you.